The Premier League season is coming to an end, and of course, that means the transfer window is just around the corner. Clubs are preparing to do their business early, and in fact, some clubs have already done some business already. And getting straight into the trending topic at the moment, Victor, Xabi Alonso has agreed a deal to become Chelsea's head coach on a 4-year contract. Rate this appointment out of 10 and give your reason why.
I'll give it an 8. He's a good coach. You don't go a season unbeaten in Germany if you suck. And Chelsea certainly needs someone who isn't afraid to tackle some of the bigger issues that they have, like recruitment or development of this, what is a young but talented squad. I'm not going with a 9 because of the length of the contract. 4 years for a good but relatively inexperienced coach in today's football climate and with Chelsea's record seems a bit long. But this is, after all, the club that gave Rossinier a 6.5-year contract. So, yeah, still, I hope this one turns out all right. Xabi Alonso deserves all the best. I say this even if I weren't a Liverpool fan, but for the player, coach, and character that he is, he does deserve the best.
I mean, I don't wish Chelsea the best, but I can also agree that on paper, this was at least a very good move. Anyways, away from Chelsea, we move on to Newcastle Max. Newcastle forward Nick Voldemar is exploring a return to mainland Europe after growing frustrated about lack of game time at Tyneside. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, we all knew that this transfer won't work out, even though at slight moment it felt like he's a good fit, but if Isak didn't leave that late, and also that if they knew that Wisa is joining, they would not go to this transfer. I mean, it was kind of forced, and the price is also something irrelevant for me at least, because you get Wisa for 50, that is Prem proven, decent striker, and you sign for 20 mil more the player that is unproven, and always guys from Germany don't really succeed in Prem. So I feel like it would be nice if they can get rid of him for at least 50 mil or so, which is, by the way, Atletico Madrid is interested in, because they're preparing that Alvarez is going to leave, probably to Barcelona maybe. And if you can get at least 45 to 50 mil, you should have to accept it and move forward with Visa and probably sign somebody else in summer. But obviously the transfer was a flop for me at least.
Right. And with back to you, Victor. Inter Milan defender Denzel Dumfries will be available for £21.8 million when a clause in his contract kicks off for a limited time in July. The player is very much open to a Premier League move, but which club or clubs do you think would benefit from his services?
One of the obvious picks is Liverpool. I think if they decide to try playing Frimpong as a winger, basically in Salah's spot, I think Chelsea would be another solid choice, and I think he's much better than Malo Gusto. But the club that would need him the most, at least out of the bigger sides, I think is Arsenal. This would be a clear upgrade on Ben White. It would free up Yuri and Timber for. Hear me out. Yuri and Timber for a midfield experiment. I think that would be a good idea. It's worth trying. And I think the price, if it's £22 million, it's reasonable enough for Arsenal for them to not have to sacrifice targeting players for other positions. So I would say Arsenal.
Yeah, but you know what is the problem with this answer? I don't see Dumfries in back four. I feel like he's suited for back five much more than. And with Arsenal, I don't really see that.
That's true. In which case, it wouldn't really fit at Arsenal. But I think look at when Timber plays as right back. He tucks inside quite a bit, goes forward quite a bit. I think there's enough flexibility there, both in the system and for the player, for Dumfries, to pull this off.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, Victor, but for Arsenal's sake, I hope Arteta does not come across that advice. I hope so. I don't want to see Timber in midfield.
Well, for Arsenal's sake, maybe Arteta should go, but that's a different discussion.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, anyways, moving away from Dumfries and over to Manchester United, Max, I don't know if you like this one, but just like Chelsea, Manchester United are also set to confirm Michael Carrick as their permanent head coach, and he has agreed a 2-year deal at Old Trafford with an option to extend until 2029. Rate this appointment out of 10 and give your reason.
Oh, this one's tough. I would probably say 7. Probably, I would say like 4 or 5 if he didn't succeed this well this season. The way why I'm going with 7, just because we have better options probably available this summer, because, for example, you're always leaving, and if you could have get him, it would be a decent signing, but I feel like he deserved this spot, and we should give them at least 1 or 2 seasons, because, I mean, the way how Man United are playing at the moment and how they've been doing this season, obviously it's a big part of him. So I guess he deserved the spot, and let's see what's going to happen now.
Yeah, fair point. And just on a final note, Victor, Liverpool could target Sunderland's Robin Roefs if first choice goalkeeper Alisson decides to move to Juventus. The mentioned fee talked about is £35 million. What are your thoughts on this?
Mamardashvili really is the new Coming Kelleher, isn't he? Great goalie stuck as the number 2. Yeah, I would love to see this happen. I think Roefs has been one of the main reasons Sunderland have done so well this season. I think the price tag is realistic for today's market, and it would be a good move for all parties. Liverpool might end up having to buy 2 goalies, though, because Mamardashvili might just decide he's had enough and wants to leave.
Yeah, fair enough. There's been talk about Alisson leaving for a while now, and the way it's looking, there's a high chance it does happen, but we'll just have to see what happens with Robin Roefs and if Sunderland will sanction its exit. Anyways, that's all we have in our transfer news for today. Things are happening fast, of course, and before our next episode, we'll be sure to bring all the latest developments to have happened by then.